Good evening, everyone. Well, I hope everyone have joined the session. So, welcome to the day one of this Python bootcamp. So, as it's gonna be day one, I'll be only moving about the fundamentals of Python. So, before going to the concept, let me first introduce myself to you. This is Vishnu Priya, an upcoming systems engineer at TCS. Well, so I want you guys to be active in the class and do post your answers in the chat box. So I want you to type your college name in the chat box. Yeah, I can see few responses. Wow, that's great. That's cool then. Now type the technologies you know. Or if you have any doubts in the like other domains apart from this, you can actually type in the chat box so that we'll be noting them and we'll be trying to make any like we'll be trying to make new sessions on that like based on the majority. That's great. C, C++, Java, DSA, HTML, and CSS. Go on, go on. Okay, then we'll be noting your doubts and then we'll be trying to plan few boot camps. So if you don't want to miss this interesting content, please do like, share, and subscribe to Code Sprint. And you can also join our communities. You can find the links in the description of this video. So I hope everyone have joined the session. So okay then, without making any further delay, we'll start the class. So welcome to the day one of this Python bootcamp. So I'll not be dealing with the coding part because as it is just day one. And the session is not only for the students who are only from computer science. A student who is completely from non IT background can also join this, because Python is everywhere nowadays, mainly due to this its beginner friendly characteristic of Python. So I hope my screen is visible, right? So coming to the agenda of this entire bootcamp is introduction to Python, conditional and iterative statements, functions, oops, and followed by some quizzes. So moving to the introduction part. So welcome to Python. So like when you hear this word Python, so what is the thing that is striking in your mind? That's nothing but some snake, right? So you may know the Python as a large snake, but the name of this Python programming language comes actually from an old BBC television comedy sketch series. So that is called that I mean the name of the series is Monty Python's Flying Circus. So this is how the name like we got the name Python. And like what is actually Python? It is a programming language which is interpreted, object oriented and high level. So what is actually interpreted? Interpreted is nothing but the source code which you are actually writing is converted into bytecode, and then it has been executed by the Python's virtual machine. So that is nothing but interpreted. Object oriented in the sense like this is nothing but oops concept which we learn in different languages like Java, right? So it's nothing but it's completely related with classes and objects. So Python is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language, and it was created by Guido van Rossum, and it is first released on Feb 20, 1991. I hope this is enough for the introduction to Python. So moving on to Python in daily life. So as I've already mentioned, Python is everywhere nowadays. So from data analytics and science to web development and scripting, Python really plays a significant role in our daily life. So without we knowing that, it is already there in our daily life. So its use cases range from social media platforms to financial institutions, and it continues to revolutionize diverse sectors. So I hope everyone here will be using Instagram, right? So even in Instagram, the engineers use this Python for scaling and efficiency. And Python libraries are actually used in Facebook also. So mainly the applications of Python include web development, game development, machine learning and artificial intelligence, business, healthcare, audio video applications, music, entertainment, space technology and whatnot. So I hope you're clear with what is the introduction to Python and how actually Python is playing the significant role in our daily life, right? So moving to the first concept in this Python bootcamp, that is data types in Python. So like if you want to learn any programming language, the first concept will be this data type. So what is actually data type? Data type is nothing but it is just the type of your variable. So you will be declaring some variable, right? So based on the value of your variable, this data type is actually given. So what are the data types present in Python? So Python data types are basically divided into five groups. They are numbers, bool, which means boolean, set, dict in the sense dictionary, and sequence. So moving to the first one, that is numbers. So numbers, like again, it is subdivided into three categories, that is int, float, and complex. So int instance just the numbers, float instance decimal point numbers, complex instance we'll be using our complex numbers, right, in mathematics. So that is int, float, and complex. And these categories fall into numbers. So coming to the second data type, that is bool, which means boolean. So it indicates that only either true or false. And coming to the third thing, that is set. So set is nothing but it is an ordered collection data type that is mutable, which means we can change the values in the set, and unique. We can change the values, but it is unique means like no duplicate elements will be present in set. So coming to the next thing, that is dict. So dict in the sense dictionary. So like it will be storing the data in key value pairs, which is ordered. So unlike set instance it is unordered. So don't get confused here. Set in the sense it is unordered collection. Dict in the sense it is ordered and it is in the form of key value pairs. And coming to next thing, that is sequence. So sequence is a special data type where we have string, list and tuple under this. So what are strings? So as we know, like any text which is enclosed within inverted commas or single quotes or double quotes is nothing but strings, right? So that is string. Next, coming to the next thing, that is list. List is nothing but it is the ordered collection of data which is indexed, which means we'll be having the index like similar to arrays concept. So it is indexed with the multiple data types. So if you see here in the example, we have 2a and 5.7, right? That is two, like we have int, string and float. So this is this is a combination of multiple data types. So by seeing this list, we can easily tell that it is list data type, which is of sequence data type. And coming to the last thing, that is tuple. So tuple is nothing but it is all, I mean, it is also similar to list, but it is ordered and immutable. Immutable in the sense we cannot change the values which are there in the tuple, and it is actually denoted by parenthesis. If you see the list, it is denoted by square brackets. And coming to string, we can easily tell that because it is in the uh, inverted commas, right? And int in the sense they are nothing but the numbers, the whole numbers. And coming to float, any number with like if we have any decimals in that, that is nothing but float. So these are the data types which are there in Python. I hope you're clear until this concept. Yeah, I can see few responses. Yeah, thank you, Devya. Thank you, Vaishnavi. So let's see all these data types in detail. So coming to the first thing, int. So int, which means integers. So what is actually int data type? Whole numbers without a decimal point. So we don't have any decimal point here, and all the whole numbers without a decimal point fall into this int category. So remember this, even a person who know just basic English can also write Python code easily, because there is no there's no complex syntax like we have in Java, C++, right? So coming to this, like this is the way how you actually assign a value to a variable in Python. It's not required to specify the data type, because by seeing that value itself, Python itself will declare your value into this particular data type. So if you see, we have x is equal to 10 here, right? So Python will see the value and it will just move this x into the int category. So it's not required to write int x is equal to 10 as in the other languages, right? And another example, y is equal to minus 5. So this is nothing but int data type. So moving to next data type, that is floating point numbers, indicated by the word float. So what is float in the sense? The numbers with a decimal point. So don't get confused. In int in the sense we have numbers without a decimal point. Float in the sense numbers with the decimal point. Okay. So coming to the examples. So I hope everyone know the value of pi, right? So what is the value of pi? Please type it in the chat box. So there are no max students here. So it's 3.14159, right? So another example is the values of the temperature. So that's all about int and float. I hope you're clear until here, right? Until this slide. So moving on to third data type, that is string. So as we know, any text that is enclosed in single or double quotes, in the sense that is string, right? So sequences of characters enclosed in single or double quotes. So if you see the example, name is equal to Alice and message is equal to hello world. So you can write either single or double quotes. So this is how you write the string. I mean, this is how you assign the value to the variable, the string value to the variable. And the name of the variable, it's up to our choice. And moving to next thing, that is Boolean. So it represents only truth or false, only the truth values. So either true or false. If you see the example, is active is equal to true, is busy is equal to false. So these are the examples of Boolean. So coming to the next thing. So here another add-on point is like Python is having an inbuilt four data types which are only there for data collection. So those are list, set, dict, and tuple. So coming to the first thing, that is list, ordered collections that contain various data types. So by seeing the example of that particular variable, like particular thing, you can easily identify that it is a list data type, because we'll be having mixed data types. That is, it is having different data types. So combination of data types in the value of list. And another main point here is by seeing the square bracket itself, you can tell that it is a list data type. So if you see the examples, first thing, numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And coming to fruits, apple, banana, and orange. Coming to mixed list, 42, hello, which is a string, true, which is bool, 3.14, which is float. So like the combination of data types is acceptable in list. So coming to the next thing, that is tuple. So as I've already mentioned, tuple, which is similar to list, but it is ordered and immutable collection of data. So immutable is we cannot change. So if you see the example, point is equal to 3 comma 5. So another thing here is tuple is actually enclosed in parentheses. So another example is person is equal to Alice, comma 30, comma engineer. So why did I say that tuple is similar to list? Because we also have this concept of different data type and tuple also. So person is equal to Alice, which is string, 30, which is int, and engineer, which is string. So we have this concept of like mixed data type in both list and tuple. But what is the difference between list and tuple? List, it is ordered, tuple, it is also ordered. But in list, you have different types and you have square bracket, right? But in tuple, you have parentheses. And another thing here is list is actually indexed, but tuple is not indexed. And coming to dict. So dict in the sense dictionaries. So the unordered collections of key value pairs. So if you see the example, student, name is Bob, age is 21, major is biology. So this is the naming convention. Like this is how you actually write this dictionary. So name, you'll be using colon and you'll write the value. So as I've already told, key value, right? So here key will be name and value will be Bob. So that is how we write this dictionary. So name Bob, age 21, major biology. Coming to the next example, brand Toyota, model Camry, and year 2022. Okay, coming to the next thing, that is set. So unordered collection of unique elements. So set will be having only unique elements. So there is no duplication of elements here. So if you see, both dictionaries and sets are enclosed within curly braces, right? So this is how you represent dictionary and sets. So coming to sets example, we have colors is equal to red, green, and blue. Prime numbers will be 2, 3, 5, and 7. So these are the examples for or list, tuple, dictionary, and sets. So these are the four built-in data types which are there in Python exclusively for data collection. So coming to the next data type, that is none. Actually, this is not that important, but just have an idea of this, it would be better. So none represents the absence of a value or a null value. So if you really want to, like if you want to assign something that is absent or it is null value, then you will be using this none. So result is equal to none. This is how you actually assign this none to some variable. So this is nothing but none. And apart from all these data types, so these are all default data types that are present in Python, right? So if you really want to change, like if you want to use your own data types, you can also do that. So you can create your own custom data types by using custom objects. Actually, this objects, this class, these all are like this will be coming in the next sessions in the oops concept. But just have an idea of this. So you can actually create your own custom data types here. So if you see here, you have class person. So person will be the name of the class. And here, what is def? Instance, the it is a keyword in order to declare a method or a function. So def init, here I'm trying to declare a method with two arguments, that is name and age. So don't bother about the code for now. Like this concept is not that important here. I'll be teaching you again in the oops concept. Don't worry about that. Here the main point you have to remember is we'll be using objects in order to create your own custom data types using classes concept. So if the object comes, automatically you'll be knowing about the classes concept. Don't worry about that. So I hope you are clear until here, right? Okay, then I'll be showing like how to write, like in the coding part, like how to write each data type I'll be showing, and I'll be explaining again all the concepts. Don't worry about that. So I'm using Python 3.10. You can use your favorite one like Collab or VS Code, etc. So coming to the first data types, that is int. So how do you actually write int? X is equal to 10. I hope my screen is visible, right? So what is int? Int is nothing but the whole numbers without a decimal point. So x is equal to 10. Next, y is equal to minus 5. So this is very easy to assign this value to any of the variable. So Python will automatically take this, like consider this 10 as the integer variable. Like as soon as you give the value, Python will taking it. So don't worry about that. Next, coming to the next thing, we have float data type. So numbers with a decimal point. So int instance numbers without a decimal point, and float as numbers with a decimal point. So how do you actually write the float? So I hope you are clear with int and float, right? So moving to the next thing, that is string. So sequence of characters or the combination of characters enclosed in single or double quotes. So that is nothing but string. So how do you write it? Name is equal to, you have to enclose this in either double inverted commas or single inverted commas. Next thing we have boolean, which is nothing but bool. So it represents truth values, either true or false. So how do you write this? You'll be giving something like is active is equal to true, or you'll be giving it as false. So I hope you're clear with int, float, string, and boolean, right? So apart from these, what are actually important in Python? Like what are the data types which are actually important in Python is list, tuple, set, and dictionary. So what is list? So the ordered collection that can contain various data types. So the mixed data types is allowed in list concept. So I hope if you see the list, I think you'll be remembering arrays concept, right? So list is enclosed in square brackets and it is actually ordered. So what is the similarity between arrays concept and list is nothing but we have indexing concept here. So what are the examples in list? We have numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's not mandatory that you have to write mixed data types. So you can write same data type or mixed data types. It is of our wish. So coming to fruits, that will be apple, banana, and orange. So let me show you. Numbers is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is how you write list. Or if you want, like what is the mixed data type? If you see mixed list, you'll be writing 40, some hello, or you'll be writing true, that is boolean, or you can write the decimal, float values. So this is how you actually write list in Python. Next, moving to tuple concept. So tuples are nothing but it is ordered and immutable collections. So immutable in sense we can't change the values which are already there in tuple. And it is represented in the parenthesis. So that is the important point in tuple. So how you write tuple? We'll just write some variable name and you will just write. So I hope you are clear with the lists and tuples, right? Okay, Pavan, don't worry about that. I'll go slow, okay? Are you clear with this concept? Yeah, sure. We'll be posting this PPT. Don't worry about that. Okay, Kaveri, it's not required to write is active is true. It's our wish to write either true or false. You can even write A is equal to true. Like it's just the example that we'll be writing either true or false for bool. That is important here. You can write A is equal to true or B is equal to false. It's up to you. Like it's according to the question given. Just remember the example. Like this is how you assign this particular value to the boolean variable. So coming to the dictionaries concept, so as I've already told, it is unordered collection of key value pairs. So all the values here will be in the form of key value. So name is Bob. So we are telling that someone, a person is there and his name is Bob. So name here is key. Key in the sense like what is the characteristic, right? Value is nothing but the particular value, like particular name. So coming to the age, it is a characteristic. So that will be a key. And value will be some digit, right? If it is a age, it will be some digit variable. So 21. And coming to major, it's biology. So this is how you actually write. And moving to the next example, we have car. So what are the variables or what are the elements we have in car? It will be brand, model, year, speed, the mileage, etc. Right? So brand Toyota, model is Camry, and year is 2022. So let me show you. You can use even the online compilers also for doing your coding part. So how do you write this? And remember, dictionaries and sets are actually enclosed in flower braces. If you remember, tell me, how do you represent list? We can enter it. Yes, right, Satvik Reddy. What about tuple? Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you. So, so moving to the next thing, that is sets, right? So unordered collection of unique elements. So we'll be having only unique elements. So there is no duplication of data in sets, which is also represented in curly braces. So both dictionary and sets, they are represented in curly braces. So how do you write? So you can give your own values. So this is how you actually write. You can use your own compiler for coding. And coming to none, so you'll be writing a is equal to none. It's not required that you have to write the same variable name. So variable name and the values, it's as our wish. So don't worry about that. Next, and don't get confused with this custom objects concept because we'll be getting this in the oops concept. This is all related to classes and objects. So do remember the main thing here is we'll be using custom objects concept in order to have our own custom data types. So here in this last line of this code, Alice is equal to person of Alice and 28, right? So here Alice is equal. I mean Alice means we are trying to create an object. So Alice here is nothing but object name, and person here is nothing but it is the class name. I think you're confusing about this custom objects. Don't worry about that. So I hope you're clear, like how to actually write this all the data types, like how to assign the values to all these data types. And another add-on point here is, if you don't know what data type it is, and if you want to know what data type it is, then you will be using type function. So type is a built-in function which is used to return the type of the data stored in your variable. So it is a built-in function in Python. It is used to return the type of data. So what is the data that you're giving? It is used to return the type of that. So you will be giving the data in either objects or variables, right? In your particular code. So for that particular data, it will be trying to return the type of data, which means data type. So it is used to return, and since it will just print the data type. So quickly give me the answers. Like what is the data type of X here? Please type the data type of X. Yeah, that's great. So X is an integer variable, right? And what is the data type of temperature? Yeah, that's great. So let me show you how actually this type function which I have mentioned earlier is working. So you will be writing, I'm sorry, you will be writing X is equal to your own value, and you will be asking the interpreter. So in Python, we don't have compiler, we only have interpreter because it is an interpreted language, right? So you'll be asking what is the type of X, what is the data type of X. So how to write that, like how to, like if you want to print X, how to print, you will be writing print, and then you'll be writing X, that's it. So I hope you are clear how to print the particular variable, like what I mean, print the particular value of a variable. Now I'm giving X10, and I'm trying to print the type of, I mean the data type of X. So what is the answer? So this is how you write, like you will be writing this type function. Print type of X, that is type of the variable what you want, like for what we are trying to find the data type, right? So that is class int. So coming to next thing, I'm writing a is equal to quotes print. Now tell me what is the data type. Print type of a. It's not int. How can that be int? Yes, that is string. Yeah, that's great. Class str. Now I hope that is clear from my end. Now let's move on to the practice session. So I want you to predict the output for this. Like I want you to type the data type of X, Y, Z, and A. I hope my screen is visible, right? Quickly type the data type of X, Y, Z, and A. Yeah, that's great. It's string, int, float, and list. So I hope you're clear with the fundamentals of Python and the data types concept. So for more interesting content, you can actually, yeah, you have to like, share, subscribe to Code Sprint, and do join all the communities, Instagram, the WhatsApp groups. I hope the links are there in the description, right? So what is your take home exercise for today is do practice all the data types. So you write your own data types and try to find the type of that data type. Yeah, Kaveri, I'll be posting the attendance link. So in the meanwhile, try to fill the attendance link. Don't worry about that. This form is open until tomorrow's class. So let us start the doubts session. So please type the doubts if you have any. Just try to be clear until the fundamentals and data types concept. So everyone are busy in filling that attendance form. Huh? It will be open until tomorrow's class. Don't worry about that. And please do ask any doubts if you have. Yeah, Pavan, don't worry about that. We will share the PPT. You can have a look at that. Don't worry about that. Okay, custom objects like, okay, fine. Let me explain the coding part also. As this is the first class, I'm not explaining the coding part of that because that is completely in the OOPS concept. We have that on day 3 or day 4, I think. So we have the like we have all the data types. So these will be default in Python. So if you want to create any like your own custom data type, so custom in the sense like it's user defined, so you want to create your own data types, then you'll be using custom objects for that. So that is the main point here. If you want, I'll be explaining the entire code. So objects in the sense we have to use this class concept. So how to write a class and followed by class name. So class and person. So person here is nothing but it is a name of a class. So class, person, and you'll be using colon. So after colon, if you see, we have space, right? Like front, we have some four or three some tab spaces, right? So that is nothing but indentation. In Python, indentation is very important. So after writing the first line, in the second line, you will be giving some indentation. I hope it will be automatically in the editors that you use, but indentation is very important in Python. So def is a keyword in order to write, like in order to create function or a method. So def init here is nothing but it is a method. In order to like by using that we can easily access all the variables, that like it will allow the class to access all the variables. And next thing will be self, name and age. Self is also same like init, like it is not considered as an argument. So what last two arguments will be considered as arguments, because self is not an argument. It is used to convert our data type. So we are trying to convert this name to self dot name, right? In the next line we are trying to convert this age to self dot age. So this is how you write your own data type. So that is nothing but self and init. So in the last line, you're writing Alice is equal to person of Alice, comma 28. So like in this particular name, Alice is going to be it will be stored, and in this particular age, 28 is will be stored. So this is nothing but like you are creating an object here. Object name is Alice, and person, like how to create an object in Python is nothing but object name is equal to class name, and what are the arguments? So what are the arguments here? Name and age. So automatically name will be Alice and age will be 28. So the order here is important. So you shouldn't write Alice after 28. So like it'll be getting some errors. So name instance Alice, age is 28. So you're not assigning the value of Alice to name directly here. Here we are using object. So this is nothing but custom object in order to create your own custom data type. So this is nothing but custom objects concept. If you know the soups concept, that will be cleared. Like immediately after the colon you will be like immediate like after declaring class you shouldn't write any code in the same line, right? You'll be moving on to the next line. So after colon immediately indentation will happen there, like in the automatic editors. But if you want to write, just give some three spaces like that, tab spaces, that's enough. Rachel, don't worry, I'll be giving a recap session of this entire session tomorrow in the tomorrow's class. Don't worry about that. Be active in the WhatsApp groups. You'll be receiving your PPT so that you can do some homework. So do practice all the data types. Yeah, we will do the boot camps on data science using Python. Please don't worry about that. Your point is noted, Kaveri. A good platform, you can use Collab and you can use ideally Shell, or you can use VS Code. That will be great. I personally use some online compilers, like without disturbing my entire system. Python integrating with the various other programming languages. That's great actually. We'll plan for that. Your point is noted, Siddhartha. 4 minutes left. I hope. Yeah. Tell me all the doubts. So if you still have any doubts which are not cleared in this session, you can reach out to me through LinkedIn. Yeah, thank you, Kaushik. So this is my LinkedIn profile URL. Actually, both are great. Lead code and hacker rank both are great for practicing. Like in lead code, you'll be having n number of problems. In hacker rank, try to solve the exams. Like you'll be having problem solving, 1 star, 2 star exams, right? So try to solve them. Don't worry about the projects. This is just day one, right? That's why I'm not gonna deal with coding. You'll be having your projects. Don't worry about that. So if you still have any doubts, yeah, I'm just posting my profile URL. So reach out to me through LinkedIn. I'll be available to you guys. Yes, you can use Jupyter. Think logically for programming in the sense. Don't worry about the syntax and try to solve more problems. Like all the problems related to I mean, you'll be having long codes, right? Don't worry about the syntax and only mainly focus on the logic. Like you just think about what is the output they gave and what are the inputs they gave, and you try to like you'll be trying to write the logic for that. So you have to think more. You have to practice more in order to think logically. Yeah, you'll be having quizzes tomorrow, I think. For today, there is no work, but you just try to practice the data types concept. That's it. Problems in hacker rank, Vishnu Teja, you have to you have to go from easy level and then to the tough level. First, try to solve easy level questions. Yeah, sure, sure. I'll be putting entire this concept in a nutshell tomorrow. Don't worry about that. So yeah, thanks a lot for today, and let's meet in the tomorrow's session. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.